What is pumpkin? A pumpkin is a cultivar of winter squash that is round with smooth, slightly ribbed skin, and is most often deep yellow to orange in coloration. The thick shell contains the seeds and pulp. The name is most commonly used for cultivars of Cucurbita pepo, but some cultivars of Cucurbita maxima, C. Agrosperma, and C. machata, with similar appearance, are also sometimes called pumpkins. Native to North America, northeastern Mexico, and southern United States. Pumpkins are one of the oldest domesticated plants, having been used as early as 7,000 to 5,500 BC. Pumpkins are widely grown for food, as well as for aesthetic and recreational purposes. Pumpkin pie, for instance, is a traditional part of Thanksgiving meals in Canada and the United States, and pumpkins are frequently carved as jack-o'-lanterns for decoration around Halloween. Although commercially canned pumpkin puree and pumpkin pie fillings are usually made from varieties of winter squash different from the ones used for jack-o'-lanterns. Etymology and Terminology. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the English word pumpkin derives from the ancient Greek word pepon, meaning melon. Under this theory, the term transitioned through the Latin word peponym and the Middle French word pepon and the Middle Modern English word papillon, which was changed to pumpkin by the 17th century. English colonists, shortly after encountering pumpkins upon their arrival in what is now northeastern United States. An alternative derivation for pumpkin is the Massachusetts word peppercorn, meaning grows fourth round. This term would likely have been used by the Wapatongang people who speak Wampanoag dialect of Massachusetts when introducing pumpkins to English pilgrims at Plymouth Colony, located in present-day Massachusetts. The English word squash is also derived from a Massachusetts word variously transcribed as aquatic squash, or in the closely related Narragansett language, Akakuta squash. The term pumpkin has no agreed-upon botanical or scientific meaning, and is used interchangeably with squash and winter squash. In North America and the United Kingdom, pumpkin traditionally refers to only certain round orange varieties of winter squash, predominantly derived from Cucurbita pepo, while in New Zealand and Australian English, the term pumpkin generally refers to all winter squash. Description: pumpkins, like other squash, originated in northeastern Mexico and southern United States. The oldest evidence of pumpkin fragments found in Mexico that are dated between 7,000 and 5,500 BC. Pumpkin fruits are a type of botanical berry known as pepo. Traditional C. pepo pumpkins generally weigh between 3 and 8 kilograms, though the largest cultivars of species C. maxima regularly reach weights of 34 kilograms or 75 pounds. The color of pumpkins derives from the orange carotenoid pigments, including beta-cryptoxanthin, alpha, and beta-carotene, all of which are provitamin A compounds converted to vitamin A in the body. Taxonomy: all pumpkins are winter squash, mature fruit of certain species in the genus Cucurbita. Characteristics commonly used to define pumpkin include smooth and slightly ribbed skin and deep yellow to orange color. Circa 2005, white pumpkins have become increasingly popular in the United States. Other colors, including dark green, as with some oilseed pumpkins, also exist. The traditional American pumpkin used for jack-o'-lanterns is the Connecticut field variety. Giant pumpkins are large squash with a pumpkin-like appearance that grow to exceptional size, with the largest exceeding a ton in mass. Most of the varieties of the Cucurbita maxima and were developed through the efforts of botanical societies and enthusiast farmers. Production. In 2019, world production of pumpkins, including squash and gourds, was 23 million tons, with China accounting for 37% of the total. Ukraine and Russia each produced about 1 million tons. In the United States, as one of the most popular crops in the United States, in 2007, over 1.5 billion pounds of pumpkins were produced. The top pumpkin-producing states includes Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and California. According to the Illinois Department of Agriculture, 95% of U.S. crop intended for processing is grown in Illinois. The United States Department of Agriculture quotes as much more modest share, 41% of the overall pumpkin crop originates in the state, still more than 5 times the nearest competitor, California, whose pumpkin industry is centered in the San Joaquin Valley, and the majority of that comes from 5 counties in the central part of the state. Nestle, operating under the brand name Libby's, produces 85% of the processed pumpkin in the United States at their plant in Morton, Illinois. In the fall of 2009, rain in Illinois devastated the Nestle crop, which combined with a relatively weak 2008 crop depleting that year's reserves, resulted in a shortage affecting the entire country during a Thanksgiving holiday season. Another shortage, somewhat less severe, affected the 2015 crop. The pumpkin crop grown in the western United States, which constitutes approximately 3 to 4% of the national crop, is primarily for the organic market. Terry County, Texas, has a substantial pumpkin industry centered largely on miniature pumpkins. Pumpkins are a warm weather crop that is usually planted in early July. The specific conditions necessary for growing pumpkins require that soil temperatures 3 inches deep are at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and that the soil holds water well. Pumpkin crops may suffer if there is a lack of water or because of cold temperatures. In this case, below 65 degrees Fahrenheit soil that is sandy with poor water retention or poorly drained soils that become waterlogged after heavy rain are both detrimental. Pumpkins are, however, rather hardy, and even if many leaves and portions of the vine are removed or damaged, the plant can quickly grow secondary vines to replace what was removed. Pumpkins produce both a male and female flower, with fertilization usually performed by bees. In America, pumpkins have historically been pollinated by the native squash bee, Bonatus prunosa, but that bee has declined, probably partly due to pesticide sensitivity. Ground-based bees such as squash bees and eastern bumblebee are better suited to manage the larger pollen particles that pumpkins create. But today, most commercial plantings are pollinated by hives of honeybees, which allows the production and sale of honey that the bees produce from the pumpkin pollen. 1 hive per acre is recommended by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. If there are adequate bees for pollination, gardeners may have to hand pollinate. Inadequately pollinated pumpkins usually start growing but fail to develop. Nutrition. In a 100-gram amount, raw pumpkin provides 26 kilocalories of food and is an excellent source of provitamin A, beta-carotene, and vitamin A. Vitamin C is present in moderate content, but no other nutrients are in significant amounts. Pumpkin is 92% water, 6.5% carbohydrate, and 0.1% fat, and 1% protein. Uses. Cooking. Pumpkins have several culinary uses. Most parts of the pumpkin are edible, including the fleshy shell, the seeds, the leaves, the flowers. In the United States and Canada, pumpkin is a popular Halloween and Thanksgiving staple. Pumpkin puree is sometimes prepared and frozen for later use. When ripe, the pumpkin can be boiled, steamed, and or roasted. In its native North America, pumpkins are an important part of the traditional autumn harvest, eaten mashed, and making its way into soups and purees. Often it is made into pumpkin pie, various kinds of which are a traditional staple of the Canadian and American Thanksgiving holidays. In Canada, Mexico, the United States, Europe, and China, the seeds are often roasted and eaten as a snack. Pumpkins that are still small and green may be eaten in the same way as summer squash or zucchini. In the Middle East, pumpkin is used for sweet dishes. A well-known sweet delicacy is called halal yakteen. In the Indian subcontinent, a pumpkin is cooked with butter, sugar, and spices in a dish called kudu ka halwa. Pumpkin is used to make smaller sambar in Udupi cuisine. In Guangxi Province, China, the leaves of the pumpkin plant are consumed and is cooked as a vegetable or in soups. In Australia and New Zealand, pumpkin is often roasted in conjunction with other vegetables. In Japan, small pumpkins are served in savory dishes, including tempura. In Myanmar, pumpkins are used in both cooking and desserts, candied, and the seeds are a popular sunflower seed substitute. In Thailand, small pumpkins are steamed with custard inside and served as dessert. In Vietnam, pumpkins are commonly cooked in soups with pork or shrimp. In Italy, it can be used with cheeses as a savory stuffing with ravioli. Also, pumpkin can be used to flavor both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. I forgot to clean my glasses before I started this, I'm sorry. I don't edit these videos, so you know how it is. In the southwestern United States and Mexico, pumpkin and squash flowers are a popular and widely available food item. They may be used to garnish dishes or dredged in a batter then fried in oil. Pumpkin leaves are a popular vegetable in the western and central regions in Kenya. They are called saviv and are an ingredient in mokino, respectively, whereas the pumpkin itself is usually boiled or steamed. The seeds are popular with children who roast them on a pan before eating them. Pumpkin leaves are also eaten in Zambia, where they are called chibuwawa and are boiled and cooked with groundnut paste as a sales dish. Leaves. Pumpkin leaves, usually C. moscata varieties, are eaten as a vegetable in Korean cuisine. Seeds. Pumpkin seeds are known as pepitas, are edible and nutrient-rich. They are about half an inch long, flat, asymmetrically oval, light green in color, and usually covered by a white husk. Although some pumpkin varieties produce seeds without them, pumpkin seeds are a popular snack that can be found whole or semi-whole at many grocery stores. Per ounce serving, pumpkin seeds are a good source of protein, magnesium, copper, and zinc. Pumpkin seed oil. Pumpkin seed oil, a thick oil pressed from roasted pumpkin seeds, appears red or green in color depending on the layer thickness, container properties, and hue shift of the observer's vision. When used for cooking or as salad dressing, pumpkin seed oil is generally mixed with other oils because of its robust flavor. Pumpkin seed oil contains fatty acids such as oleic acid and alpha-linoleic acid. Other uses. Canned pumpkin is sometimes recommended by veterinarians as a dietary supplement for dogs and cats that are experiencing certain digestive ailments, such as constipation, diarrhea, or hairballs. The high fiber content may aid digestion. Raw pumpkin can be fed to poultry as a supplement to regular feed. During the winter, this practice may help maintain egg production, which usually drops off during the cold months. Pumpkins have been used as folk medicine by Native Americans to treat intestinal worms and urinary ailments, and this Native American remedy was adopted by American doctors in the early 19th century as anthelmintic for the expulsion of worms. In Germany and southeastern Europe, seeds of sea pepo were used as folk remedies to treat irritable bladder and benign prostatic hyperplasia. In China, sea moscata seeds were used in traditional Chinese medicine for the treatment of parasitic disease. schistosomiasis, and for the expulsion of tapeworms. Chinese studies have found that the combination of pumpkin seed and areca nuts extracts were effective in the expulsion of Tannina spp tapeworms in over 89% of cases. Culture. Halloween. Pumpkins are commonly carved into decorative lanterns called jack-o'-lanterns for the Halloween season. Traditional Britain and Ireland would carve lanterns from vegetables, particularly the turnip, mango wurzel, or swede. They continue to be popular choices today as carved lanterns in Scotland and Northern Ireland. Although the British purchased 1 million pumpkins for Halloween in 2004. The practice of carving pumpkins for Halloween originated from an Irish myth about a man named Stingy Jack. The turnip was traditionally been carved in Ireland and Scotland at Halloween. But immigrants to North America used the native pumpkin, which are both readily available and much larger, making them easier to carve than turnips. Not until 1837 does jack-o'-lantern appear as a term for carved vegetable lantern, and the carved pumpkin lantern association with Halloween is recorded in 1866. In the United States, the carved pumpkin was first associated with harvest season in general, long before it became an emblem of Halloween. In 1900, an article on Thanksgiving entertaining recommended a lit jack-o'-lantern as part of the festivities that encouraged kids and families to join together to make their own jack-o'-lanterns. Association of pumpkins with harvest time and pumpkin pie at Canadian and American Thanksgiving reinforced its iconic role. Starbucks turned this association into marketing with its pumpkin spice latte introduced in 2003. This has led to a notable trend in pumpkin and spice flavored food products in North America. This is despite the fact that North Americans rarely buy whole pumpkins to eat, other than when carving jack-o'-lanterns. Illinois farmer Sarah Frey is called the Pumpkin Queen of America and sells around 5 million pumpkins annually, predominantly for use as as lanterns. Chunking. Pumpkin chunking is a competitive activity for which teams build various mechanical devices designed to throw a pumpkin as far as possible. Catapults, trebuchets, ballistas, and air cannons are the most common mechanisms. Some pumpkin chunkers breed and grow special varieties of pumpkin under specialized conditions to improve the pumpkin's chances of surviving a throw. Pumpkin festivals and competitions. Growers of giant pumpkins often compete to grow the most massive pumpkins. Festivals may be dedicated to the pumpkin in these competitions. In the United States, the town of Half Moon Bay, California, holds an annual art and pumpkin festival, including the world champion pumpkin weigh-off. The record for the world's heaviest pumpkin is 2,700 pounds, was established in Italy in 2021. Folklore and fiction. There's a connection in folklore and popular culture between pumpkins and the supernatural, such as the custom of carving jack-o'-lanterns from pumpkins derives from folklore about a lost soul wandering the earth. In the fairy tale Cinderella, fairy godmother turns a pumpkin into a carriage for the title character, but at midnight it reverts to a pumpkin. In some adaptations of Washington Irving's ghost story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman is said to use a pumpkin as a substitute head. In most folklore, the carved pumpkin is meant to scare away evil spirits on All Hallows Eve, that is Halloween, when the dead were reported to walk the earth. Read an article on pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is a dessert pie with a spiced pumpkin-based custard filling. Though other types of squash are more commonly utilized, the pumpkin is a symbol of harvest time, and pumpkin pie is generally eaten during the fall and early winter. In the United States and Canada, it is usually prepared for Thanksgiving and other occasions when pumpkin is in season. The pie's fillings ranges in color from orange to brown and is baked in a single pie shell, rarely with a top crust. The pie is generally flavored with cinnamon, powdered ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. Allspice is also commonly used. It can replace the clove and nutmeg, as its flavor is similar to both combined. Cardamom and vanilla are also used sometimes as batter spices. The spice mixture is called pumpkin pie spice. The pie is often made from canned pumpkin or packaged pumpkin pie filling, spices included, mainly from varieties of Cucurbita moschata. Preparation. Pies made from pumpkins use pie pumpkins, which measure about 15 to 20 centimeters in diameter. They are considerably smaller than the jack-o'-lanterns. The first step for getting the edible part out of the pumpkin is to slice it in half and remove the seeds. The two halves are heated until soft in an oven over an open fire, on a stovetop, or in a microwave oven. Sometimes the pumpkin halves are brined to soften the pulp instead of being cooked. At this point, the pulp is scooped out and pureed. The pulp is mixed with eggs, evaporated and or sweetened, condensed milk, sugar, and a spice mixture called pumpkin pie spice, which includes nutmeg and other spices, example ginger, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, mace, and baked into a pie shell. Similar pies are made with butternut squash and sweet potato fillings. History. The pumpkin is native to the continent of North America. The pumpkin was an early export to France, and there was introduced to Tudor England, and the flesh of the pumpkin was quickly accepted as pie filler. During the 17th century, pumpkin pie recipes could be found in English cookbooks, such as Hannah Woolley's The Gentlewoman's Companion in 1675. Pumpkin pies made by early American colonists were more likely to be a savory soup, made and served in a pumpkin, and a sweet custard in a crust. It was not until the early 19th century that the recipes appeared in Canadian and American cookbooks, where pumpkin pie became a common addition to the Thanksgiving dinner. The Pilgrims brought the pumpkin pie back to New England, and the English method of cooking the pumpkin took a different course. In the 19th century, the English pumpkin pie was prepared by stuffing the pumpkin with apples, spices, and sugar, and baking it whole. In the United States after the Civil War, the pumpkin pie was resisted in southern states as a symbol of Yankee culture imposed on the South, where there was no tradition of eating pumpkin pie. Many southern cooks instead made sweet potato pie, or added bourbon and pecans to give a southern touch. Today, throughout much of Canada and the United States, it is traditional to serve pumpkin pie after Thanksgiving dinner. Additionally, many modern companies produce seasonal pumpkin pie flavored products such as candy, cheesecake, coffee, ice cream, French toast, waffles, and pancakes. And many breweries produce a seasonal pumpkin ale or beer. These are generally not flavored with pumpkins, but rather pumpkin pie spices. Commercially made pumpkin pie mix is made from Cucurbita pepo, Cucurbita maxima, and Cucurbita moschata. Libby Select uses the Select Dickinson pumpkin variety of C. moschata for its canned pumpkins. Pumpkin pies were discouraged from Thanksgiving dinners in 1947 as part of a rationing campaign, mainly because of the eggs in the recipe. In popular culture, poetry, Lydia Maria Child's Thanksgiving poem, Over the River and Through the Wood, from 1844, references pumpkin pie in one of its verses, Hurrah for the fun. Is the pudding done? Hurrah for the pumpkin pie. John Greenleaf Whittier wrote in his poem, The Pumpkin, in 1850, Ah, on Thanksgiving, when the east from west, from north and the south comes the pilgrim and guest, when the gray-haired New Englander sees round his board the old broken links of affection restored, when the care-wearied man seeks his mother once more, and the worn matron smiles where the girl smiled before, what moistens the lip and what brightens the eye, what calls back the past like the rich pumpkin pie. Songs. Oscar Ferdinand Telgman and George Frederick Cameron wrote the song Farewell, O Fragrant Pumpkin Pie in the opera Leo, the Royal Cadet, 1889. Goes, Farewell, O fragrant pumpkin pie, dyspeptic pork adieu. Through the college halls I hie, on field of battle, though I die, my latest sob, my latest sigh, shall wafted be to you. And though, O donut, rare and rich and fried divinely brown, thy form shall fill a noble niche in memory's chamber while I pitch my tent beside the river which rolls on through Kingston town, and my love, my little Nell, the apple of my eye, to thee how can I say farewell? I love thee more than I can tell. I love thee more than anything but pie. The Christmas themed song, There's No Place Like Home for the Holidays, makes reference to homemade pumpkin pie being looked forward to by a man returning to his family's home in Pennsylvania. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree contains the lyric, Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. Sleigh Ride, another popular Christmas song, also mentions sitting around the fire after being out in the snow and eating pumpkin pie. Records. The world's largest pumpkin pie was made in New Bremen, Ohio, at the New Bremen's Pumpkin Fest. It was created in September 25, 2010. The pie consisted of 1,200 pounds of canned pumpkin, 109 U.S. gallons of evaporated milk, 2,700 eggs, 7 pounds of salt, 14.5 pounds of cinnamon, 525 pounds of sugar. Final pie weighed 3,700 pounds and measured 20 feet in diameter. See also Bandavara, sweet potato pie, key lime pie, custard tart, pastel donato, some other things. And finally, let's talk about pumpkin spice latte. The pumpkin spice latte is a drink made with a mix of traditional autumn spice flavors, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove, steamed milk, espresso, and often sugar, topped with whipped cream and pumpkin pie spice. The beverage is most commonly associated with Starbucks, which first offered the drink in 2003 in the season of fall. The popular flavor has inspired a wide range of product variations that appear on a seasonal basis. History. Starbucks started developing the pumpkin spice latte in January 2003 following the successful introduction of winter seasonal drinks such as a peppermint mocha and eggnog latte. Starbucks Director of Espresso in Americas, Peter Dukes, said that developers realized there was something special around the pumpkin flavor, especially since there wasn't anything around pumpkin at the time. The company experimented with different combinations and ratios of pumpkin to spice, ultimately deciding on a recipe with no pumpkin in it. In the fall of 2003, the final recipe was tested in Vancouver and Washington, D.C. Sales of the drink exceeded the company's expectations. Duke said, "We couldn't keep up initially. We had to expedite inventory to the stores. The product went on sale in all U.S. Starbucks stores the following year." The company said that pumpkin spice latte was Starbucks' most popular seasonal beverage, with more than 200 million sold between its 2003 introduction and 2015. The beverage started a trend of pumpkin spice products, such as candles and air fresheners. As for foods, and diverse as donuts, breakfast cereals, cough drops, and pasta sauce. In August 2015, Starbucks changed the recipe to include pumpkin and remove artificial colors. The ingredients announced included a pumpkin pie flavored syrup made with sugar, condensed skim milk, pumpkin puree, coloring, and preservative. Nutrition. In 2015, Starbucks reformulated the flavor to include actual pumpkin and to remove artificial coloring. In an IFT publication, Schultz said that the change was imperceptible and only to appease those who wanted to see real pumpkin on a list of ingredients. Sales and marketing. Starbucks sold more than 200 million pumpkin spice lattes between its launch and 2013, generating revenue at a rate of at least 80 million a year in some seasons, outselling products such as eggnog latte and peppermint mocha. In 2013, an article published in Forbes magazine, Deborah Donson-Miller wrote that products that are available only for a limited time have kind of a built-in marketing that can grow and impact over time. Starbucks have worked to market their target market of men and women ages 25 to 40 using contemporary designs and messaging. Starbucks has written that their target market represents the demographics using social media most heavily, including on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. In 2013, the company added a gaming element to the drink's arrival, allowing customers to unlock the drink at Starbucks stores nearby by ordering the drink with a code before its official sales date. Since the introduction of the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, other companies have created pumpkin spice inspired products. According to the Data Central menu trends, restaurants' pumpkin inspired limited time offers were up 234% from 2008 to 2012. While overall limited time menu offers grew by 143% over the same period. These items include pumpkin M&Ms, Dunkin' Donuts, pumpkin flavored coffee K-Paps, and pumpkin flavored whiskey. Companies have also manufactured pumpkin spice lotion, shampoo, and candles. The Starbucks pumpkin spice latte can also be made iced or as frappuccino upon request at a Starbucks store. In fall of 2017, the company added a chai variety of the drink called pumpkin spice chai latte. Additionally, Starbucks also seasonally offers pumpkin spice flavored instant coffee pouches. According to CNBC, the pumpkin spice latte is Starbucks' most popular seasonal drink, with worldwide sales of around 424 million. Forbes estimated the beverage accounted for 100 million in revenue for Starbucks in 2015. And those are the 3 articles about pumpkin that I'm going to read today. I hope you know a little bit more about pumpkin than you knew before you watched this video. It's really a wonderful thing, isn't it, pumpkin? Let me know in the comments below what you think about pumpkin. Do you like pumpkin? What's your favorite thing about pumpkin? Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to this channel to be part of the community. And please like this video, it really helps out the channel a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.